as you can see, I've got it set up, ready to go. I've got the delta on there. This morning I got the mounts. They came in by post, so I chucked them on. I chucked the delta on there, ready to go on Friday, day after tomorrow. Now I'll get rid of this, and so that you can see me without that in the way. And the old doodle-lucky. So, pardon me, I'm having a Scotch and Dry, because I like Scotch and Dry. Oh, sorry, JD and Dry. Bloody alcoholic, yeah. So, because I'm sort of celebrating a bit, because I've got it ready to go, so I'm really happy. Now, the recoil pad that it comes with, it's nice, but it's just a solid piece of rubber, which, yeah, I'm not a big fan of. 270 is, you know, it's not a magnum caliber, but it's still got a fair kick. So I do have I did have a limb saver that I can't remember what I was going to use it for, but I had it left over, and it comes very, very close. It's very, very close to fitting. Correct width, everything's fine. But anyway, I'll be putting a limb saver on it because I do like limb savers. So that's one thing that I'll modify. Now, the bolt was hanging up on the. It wasn't hanging up, but it was a bit rough on the ejector. So I took the ejector out, and I gave it a polish up with some sandpaper. You know, I think 320 grit and then 2000 grit or something with some oil, so I got it nice and slick. Now the trigger was, I weighed it and it was consistently about 6 pounds, which, yeah, it's a bit heavy for me. So I played around with it. I played with the travel screw and got it so it's just perfect, and I changed the spring out, and the spring in it was quite heavy, but I've got a few spare springs from other rifles that I've changed springs out on, and I actually used a CZ455 spring and put that in, and now it's about 3 pounds 8 ounces, consistently around 3 pounds 8 ounces, so that's really nice. Now the biggest issue that I've encountered, even though, regardless of how beautiful this thing is, I'm going to tell you, and how much I love it, I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, everything, because I'm not a bullshit artist. I'm going to tell you how it is. So the problem that it had was that the actual feed ramp, when they beveled it with whatever device they used, Dremel or something, because that's what I used to fix it, it wasn't evenly round. It was lopsided to the left hand side, and when you were feeding, because it's a double stack magazine, when you're feeding rounds on the right hand side, the first round, if you only got one round in it, not a problem, because the first round is on the right hand side. That one just goes in, no problems at all, regardless of what type of projectile it is. If you've got 3, so it's all the negative number rounds. If you've got 3 rounds in it, if you've only got 3 rounds in it, around those, the round nose with the soft lead point, it's not a point, it's round, would hit the ramp and also hang up on the right hand feed lip. And even the Spitzer soft points, like the Remington core locked, even they would hang up. Now, if you cycled it really, if you gave it the old heave ho, yeah, they go in, but the noses, the points are or round noses, the points are still getting deformed because they're hitting that ramp, and you're having to. And I can't take much more off the ramp, and that feed lip, I can't take much more of the feed. I went as far as I could, because if you take too much off the feed lip, what happens is that the cases will start to point up, and the face of the bolt will not be able to pick it up. So I've gotten it to as far as it'll go, but the soft points, it still has a problem with. Now, so I got the Dremel out, and yeah, I did work on it and that, but it's still a problem. So, in the advertising, it says that, where is it? Clip magazine conversion kit, an option. So, what I did was, I got a hold of, if you're here in Australia, the distributors for Voere are Alcock and Pearce in Melbourne. Now, Alcock and Pearce only took over the distributorship recently, and the 2155s and 2165s, the K98s, are not something that Voere or apparently are really pushing. They're trying to get away from it for whatever reason. They're really pushing their new models, their push feed models. So Alcock and Pearce have got nothing. In fact, I was talking to the guy there, and he said that they ordered some spare parts, and they ordered them in January, and they still haven't got them. So yeah, that's not good. There's some real issues with ordering firearms parts from Europe, and whether it's Europe or Australia or both, probably both. So he actually, the guy who I spoke to actually suggested to me, listen, we only took over the distributorship recently. The guys that used to distribute them for years and years and years was Heron in Sydney. Pardon me. And he said, why don't you ring them up, because they've probably got still a heap of stuff. So I rang Heron, and the guy who I spoke to, who's in the warehouse, he said to me, I'll have a look. So he looked on his system, and he said, yep, yeah, we got those conversions kits. We've still got a heap of them. So I said, okay, how do I get one? And he said, well, I can't sell it to you direct. You'll have to order it through your gun store. And I said, yep, not a problem. So about 10 minutes ago, I ordered a Voere 2155, 2165. They call it a clip magazine conversion kit. Europeans. It's a box magazine conversion kit. It's a 5 round box magazine. It only pokes, I had a look at some pictures, it only pokes out about, I don't know, 10 millimeters or something, 3/8 of an inch. Maybe half an inch. So it's, I wasn't quite, because apparently there's a 3 round and a 5 round, and I thought, might as well go for the 5 round. So I've got that on order. It's going to take a couple of weeks, but in a couple of days, Friday, I'm still going to go to the range, and I'll just load it single stack, single round at a time, because it actually does work. It actually does. You can load it singly, like the advertising says. Now, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, the feeding is if you're not using Spitzers, like those Browning BXRs, I think they are, with a big polymer tip, yeah, not a problem. They go, yeah, sweet. But anything with a soft point, it has issues with. Which doesn't really bother me that much, because I'm pretty sure that also the what's it called, Nosler have got a a hollow point, which is a Spitzer hollow point, which would work pretty well too, or the polymer tip rounds, projectiles. So that's not a big deal. Now, yeah. So the good is that it's just a beautiful rifle. The bad is that it has feeding issues with anything that's got a soft point. Even though I've modified it, with the old Dremel and sandpaper and elbow grease, and I've been doing it all, mucking around with it all morning. I fixed the trigger. Now the ugly is that box conversion kit is going to cost me $380. Yeah. 380 Australian, so you're probably looking at about 300 US. Now that is ugly, but hey, I'm willing to invest that sort of money in this rifle because it's really beautiful, and knock on wood, fingers and toes crossed that this thing shoots the eyes out, because it has got a Lotar Volta barrel, so I'm expecting it to do really well. Now, I may regret saying that, but even if the thing shoots 1.5 inches at 100 meters, well, that's not a big deal. I'm seriously expecting it to go under MOA or under MOA with at least with my hand loads. If not, I reckon the Browning will probably do it too, because I've heard a lot of good stuff about that ammo. So there you go. Is there anything else? Let's see. No. So I fixed the trigger. Now it's a consistent 3 pounds 8 ounces. It's still got a lot of travel, but it's not nowhere near as heavy as it used to be. As far as cycling is concerned, like this scope is just way too big for it. It's not the scope I'm going to have on it. I'm going to have the VX Freedom on it, which I've already got. But the cycling has really freed up, because I've been just racking it backwards and forwards, mucking around with that feed lip and the ramp, because there's no way of testing if you've gone far enough without actually putting it into the stock, putting the bottom metal on and testing it out. So I've had this bottom metal off and the action out of the stock, I don't know how many times, but it's really freed up, and as you can see, it's a lot smoother, and that trigger is now a lot lighter and really nice. So all that I've got to do is take it to the range and shoot it and see how it goes. Again, I have no idea how it's going to go, but I think it will go alright. So I just wanted to make this video just to point out that I'm not one of those people who just raves about a rifle and doesn't tell you about the nasty stuff, regardless of what brand it is, or again, I'm in no one's pocket. And even if I had people sponsoring me or companies sponsoring me, I would still tell you the truth, because it's really important to me to tell the truth. And especially like if people watch my channel and they go, oh yeah, he's raving about that and I'm going to go get one, and I don't tell them the pitfalls or the negatives, then they're going to go, well, that guy's an asshole, because I'm having problems with this. So that's the lowdown. Again, I haven't shot it yet, so I'm really hoping it's going to shoot well. Now this, I'm going to say it again, this stock, oh man, it is, I just can't stop looking at it. Like, honestly, the filling in this is just amazing. This stock is just gorgeous, and again the bluing is just superb. It's I can't wait to go to the range. Tomorrow I'll go fishing though, so I'll probably do a fishing video. I don't know how I'll go because the mornings are still cold. Like during the day it gets quite warm, but I probably won't go very well, but I'll have a go anyway. So that's about it. You probably won't hear from me until maybe if I'm successful in the fishing, you might hear from me tomorrow. Otherwise, you'll hear from me on Friday after I come back from the range and tell you how I went. So see you later.